It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, today on the channel I am going back to music from Linkin Park for the second time. Back in March I listened to Numb, which is one of their big hits from their second album, Meteora. Today, by demand, I am going back to their debut album called Hybrid Theory for their song Crawling. And this was their second release from that album, and it won them a Grammy for Best Hard Rock Performance back in 2002. So right out of the gate, this American rock band is making quite a splash. And I remember Numb quite fondly, and I'm looking forward to getting into this one. I think it's going to be delving into the human condition and substance abuse and control and all of these sorts of ideas. Lead singer Chester Bennington said that singing this song live was quite difficult for him, and that the song was inspired by his own battles with substance abuse. A quote from Chester: "Crawling is about feeling like I had no control over myself in terms of drugs and alcohol. Hence the line, 'These wounds they will not heal.'" Boy, that hits hard too, because as I mentioned in my video for their song Numb, Chester struggled with depression and substance abuse throughout his life, and tragically, he took his own life in 2017, and that's just a really sad thing, y'all. I also read about the music video that was created for this song. It depicts a young woman who is also struggling, but I think she is struggling amid an abusive relationship and not necessarily with alcohol or with drugs. So I'm going to be watching and reacting to the video for this, but I think I'm just going to show the album cover so that I can avoid an audio-visual block. I'll see how that all works together as I edit this all together. But for now, let's get into it, friends. We've got Chester Bennington on vocals. Mike Shinoda is on rap vocals, keyboards, and programming. Brad Delson is on guitars and bass and backing vocals. Joe Hahn is on some turntables, some synths, some samples. And Rob Bourdon is on drums and percussion. All right, friends, let me get my notes over here, and I've got the video here in front of me. Let's get to it. It is Crawling from Linkin Park. Off we go. That's the seventh of that chord. Whoa. These wounds they will not heal. Big wall of sound that came in there. That was aggressive.
That pulls beneath the surface, consuming, confusing.
I think that's a G sharp, the fifth of that key. They're in C sharp minor.
Controlling, I can't seem to find myself again. My walls are closing in. Not a sense of confidence. I'm convinced that
there's the rap vocals coming in.
I felt this way before. So insecure. Crawling in my skin. These wounds, they will not heal.
He's on a G sharp. A G sharp. Melodically.
Discomfort endlessly has pulled itself upon me. Reacting against my will, I stand beside my own reflection. It's haunting how I can't seem to find.
Looks like they're kind of in a fortress of solitude here at these crystals. sharp, down to A, B. It's a 4-chord song, but full of angst. Half step, just a half step from the G sharp to the A up there. Confusing what is real. And at the end, in the video, it looks like she is now free of that abusive relationship or whatever was causing her conflict. So that's good. Wow. Okay. I almost want to hear it again and talk through it now that I've heard it. Do you mind? I think I want to re-rack it, friends. Let's go back to the beginning. It's a short song. And I'm just looking at the lyrics here again. This is quite intense, friends. You know what? It reminds me of Anesthetize from Porcupine Tree, with the 7th of the chord going back and forth between the 5th of the chord, arpeggiating between the 7th and the 5th, the 7th and the 5th. I didn't bring my keyboard with me today. It's right here, but I didn't have it turned on, and I don't have my secondary camera turned on. I should have. But as I recall, this song is C sharp minor. Hope you can hear that. And it's, right, it goes to that 7th and down to the 5th. I remember Anesthetized by Porcupine Tree. I don't have one of their albums out. It was... Right? That's C minor. That middle section from Anesthetize by Porcupine Tree, and then this one we're up in C sharp minor with that 7th going down to that 5th. That's what it reminded me of. And Anesthetize is on a similar idea, being, controlled by drugs or by medications, right? And becoming numb. How about that for a callback to the world around you? I want to hear this again, y'all. Hang with me. Let's do it. Off we go. So I'm going to talk more this time, now that I've heard it. We had this opening. There's a 7th. So I think there is a G sharp. B to G sharp. Right? Then he goes in. Right, so if we're in the major key, it's 6, 4, 1, five, right? But they resolve to the minor chord, the C sharp minor chord. There's relative major, E, to the 5, then to 6. And that relentless.
Lack of self-control, I fear is never ending. Controlling, I can't seem to find myself again. My walls are closing in. Not a sense of confidence, I'm convinced.
And then we get the juxtaposition of the two different types of vocals, right? It's only a half step. G sharp, A, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp. Just on a razor's edge. It's not that much of a melody, y'all. It's just G sharp to A. It's a half step. He's on a razor's edge. Like, it's either there or there.
Against my will, I stand beside my own reflection. It's haunting how I can't seem to find
lovely
myself again.
A to B. C sharp, it's like flat 6, flat 7, 1 in that relative minor.
I felt this way before, so insecure. Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal. Fear is how I fall.
Wow, he is emoting. Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal. And they didn't, did they? Fear is how I fall, confusing what is real. Yeah. That seventh is like it's out of place. It's not the tonic. For a short song, that really packs a punch. And knowing what ends up, you know, afflicting Chester until he takes his own life. Crawling in my skin, these wounds, they will not heal. Fear is how I fall, confusing what is real. Wow, that's a powerful, powerful lyric, y'all, and a powerful bit of songwriting. What I'm meaning by it's a razor's edge. He's on the fifth of that key, the G sharp, and he just keeps going back and forth from a G sharp to an A. You know, and it's either out of touch or back in on that nice fifth, or you know, a dissonance or back into it, right? That half step is like, am I going, which way am I going? It's unsteady, it's unsturdy. And he's confusing what is real. Really fascinating. The pre-chorus, to find myself again, my walls are closing in without a sense of confidence. I'm convinced there's just too much pressure to take. I felt this way before, so insecure, right? And that little movement melodically is the insecure nature over the top of a very sturdy chord progression. And it strikes me as musically sort of offset and confused. And I think in that way it really works. Plus the drastic shifts in intensity of the music and in the sound, the volume of the music itself. It takes you, it overpowers you and overwhelms you, and then it lets you be, and then it, without warning, overpowers you again. I'm really taken by these guys. Back in the day when they were releasing this stuff, I was graduating from college and going to master's school to study and get my master's degree in composition and choral music and classical music. So I was not plugged in to what was going on in popular music at the time. So to go back and to sort of remember what it was like during those days and hearing this song with such intensity and such personal inclusion, emoting with that text, it's really powerful to me. I'm happy that we're continuing on with Linkin Park. Let me know which song from them to get to next. I am curious, friends, on what you think and which ones are your favorites by these guys that I need to get to as I continue listening to their music. I look forward to that, but I think that is all for today's edition. Thanks, y'all, for being with me. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.